Tax season is in full swing, and reforms passed by federal lawmakers last year are now in effect. The United Way of Tucson and Southern Arizona is one group helping some taxpayers navigate the changes. We learn more from Financial Stability Program Director Ray Pilarski. Tell us all a little bit about the services during this tax season that the United Way is offering.
The United Way offers a program called Vita, which stands for Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program. It's a community program that engages IRS-certified volunteers to prepare tax returns for individuals and households earning up to $66,000.
There were some big changes to the tax code, especially on the federal side this year. Is that helping or hurting most of your clients?
Helping most, although we do see some people who are a little bit surprised that their refund dipped. It seems to be primarily those who weren't aware that the tax reform actually impacted their withholding, that the withholding was lowered due to changes to the withholding guidelines that employers use to calculate our withholdings. So folks who really rely on that withholding for their refund or to cover their tax liability were a little surprised to either see that refund dip or to owe for the first time.
When it comes to the work that your tax preparers are helping people with, do they help them figure out how to make their refund come up maybe next year, change their withholding and things like that, or is that something that needs to be handled by a CPA outside of your group?
So one thing that we do offer in the Vita program is something that we call tax forecasting. So we're able to look at the taxpayer's return and see what changes might occur over the course of the next year to help taxpayers prepare for filing in the following season. So we are able to look at withholding, credits that dependents might age out of, or credits where they're starting to hit the income cap, so that people can make those changes on their own.
With the changes in the tax code on the federal side, do people need to bring different paperwork than they brought last year? And what do they need to bring with them, whether it's coming to see you all or anybody else, really?
So the rule of thumb is to make sure that taxpayers have Social Security numbers for everyone on the return. In our program, they would actually need the card itself or an acceptable alternative. Proof of income, so that could be W-2s, 1099s, other forms, any documentation of expenses that they might claim for deductions or credits, as well as account and routing numbers for their bank if they're requesting direct deposit. This year, they don't need to bring anything special. I think some folks may not realize that the standard deduction has essentially doubled across the board. So folks who were itemizing before might be bringing in a lot of extra paperwork that actually won't be used for the return because they won't meet that standard deduction.
Now, the state was trying to conform its tax code to the federal tax code. As of the time you and I are sitting down, that hasn't happened yet. Does that complicate matters for those of us who live in Arizona and have both federal and state taxes?
It complicates matters in the sense that it has created some additional confusion. However, we don't really know how all of this is going to shake out. It's our understanding that those changes may be made in the summertime, but will be retroactive. So they will actually affect the returns that are being prepared and filed now. However, it's also our understanding that the Arizona Department of Revenue intends to make any adjustments necessary for those returns to conform to the new tax law themselves, which means that it'll actually be a very small group of taxpayers who might have to amend their return. Of course, none of that is official and could certainly change, but that's what we're currently operating under.
So the lesson there is go ahead and file your tax returns. The Arizona tax folks will figure out whether you need to make changes or not. Don't delay.
Right. For the vast majority, that should be the case.
When it comes to delay, we all like to procrastinate. We've seen the lines as long as I can ever remember, on April 15th at midnight at the post office. Do people need to get in early, or can we just go ahead and wait?
We always encourage people to file as soon as they possibly can, as soon as they have all of their documents ready, primarily because if someone might owe and not realize that they owe, then they have a very short period of time to either pay their tax bill or request an installment agreement to pay that off in increments.
As we wrap this up, if somebody wants to find your services, how do they find them?
They would visit us online at www.unitedwaytucson.org. They can also call our main number at our office at 520-903-9000.
All right, well, thanks for sitting down with us.
Thanks for having me.